As NASCAR moves forward with a $7.7 billion TV agreement, interest in the sport has never been stronger. And the flood of new interest in the sport might lead to some exciting opportunities for well-connected individuals, like as Dale Earnhardt Jr. As it appears right now, Dale Jr. is on the hunt for a Cup Series team. Could he shock us all with a Cup Series return? As charter owner this time? Earnhardt was recently questioned about the idea of owning a Cup team in the future, and he kept the option open. We may be able to latch onto some of that momentum and some of those happenings, we may not, Dale Earnhardt Jr. said. Some other programs may benefit from it. Some programs that are already in the sport probably already benefiting from some new partnerships and investments. Gibbs and Trackhouse and so forth. Yeah, we're just kind of like hanging out. If it doesn't happen, I don't know that it will be a massive regret of mine, but we race. Me and Kelly talk about it all the time. We race. We were born into this. This is who we are. We're always going to be this. And so if we end up presented with an opportunity that feels really good, we would certainly be interested in doing it. Earnhardt's sister, Kelly Earnhardt Miller, is the CEO of JR Motorsports, and she too has expressed Cup-level interest on Kenny Conversation. She provided a more complete picture, assessing potential results against the resources required to create them. If you think about what it means to be a Cup owner, what it means to be a Cup owner today is that I need a very valuable charter to make it work, according to Miller. Do I put out the money for that charter today at 51 years old, and I'm turning 52, and he's turning 50. So I hope I get to retire at 65, you know? I hope that I can go enjoy some life. Dale's like in a whole second life of his life, right? With marriage and kids and all that kind of stuff. So it's like you have this asset over here that can appreciate and provide value long-term, but how hard you have to work to make the business model work, and do you want to work that hard for the next 10 or 15 years when you already worked 25 years really hard to do what we do now and to be what we are now? Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Kelly Earnhardt Miller are quite pleased to maintain their current spots in the Xfinity Series. It's rewarding work, and it probably taxes them a little less than the Cup Series would. Even still, you can practically hear the itch in Earnhardt's voice as he discusses the possibilities. If it doesn't materialize, it doesn't materialize, and we're happy where we are, Dale Earnhardt Jr. said. We love being in Xfinity Series. You've got opportunities to work with young drivers, and although they're only there for a moment, it's such a cool thing being just a part of their story, and you can look in the garage, mechanics, engineers, and crew chiefs and drivers in the top series and see a lot of people that have come through our program. Makes you feel good that you're an asset. Somebody's got to be there in that space, right? Helping give a platform for people to get to the Cup level. So I kind of love that, and it would be hard to turn that off. Could that happen at the Cup Series level? It would appear different. Dale Earnhardt Jr. currently has a number of projects in the works. Only time will tell if one of them will return to the Cup Series. We've got Dirty Mo Media rocking and rolling, Miller explained. Our Xfinity team, I could run 8 to 10 cars if I had the facility and the ability. It's flourishing from the standpoint of being on track. Dale's doing TV, Dale's doing a lot of great things. So, we have a lot of great stuff going on, you know? We want to be Cup owners, it just has to make sense in the end. There's a lot of variables for it to make sense. Could it become a reality? In any case, we're still getting to see Dale Jr. drive himself from time to time. And last weekend, Dale Earnhardt Jr. had a great experience returning to the Xfinity Series in Bristol, but at the same time, many fans were left wondering whether it was his final NASCAR appearance. Earnhardt Jr. later discussed how he is feeling following the race, as well as whether he has any plans for 2025 and beyond. Everybody was like, "Is this your last one?" "I don't have any plans," Earnhardt Jr. revealed. "I like it that way. If I want to run one, I will. If I don't, I won't. Right now, there's nothing on the schedule for next year, but knowing me, I'm probably going to go, man, I missed running. When 2025's over with, actually when I'm done broadcasting and NBC finishes out the year, I'll probably be sitting there going, I should have ran a race. I should have ran one of these. Darn it. Then I'll probably go to Kelly and LW and say, hey, let's find one for 2026, and I'll get nervous all over again. While 2025 is a question mark at the moment, Earnhardt Jr. reassured some of his supporters by stating that he is not done driving, but there are a number of considerations that he will prioritize over returning to the Xfinity Series, even if only for one race. I'm sure. I'm not done, Earnhardt Jr. stated if he will return or not. I want people to remember, I'm racing my late model, Amy and I sit down at the start of the year and we put the schedule in front of us and I go, Amy, I want to run this many late model stock races and here's a bunch of races that are interesting to me. And we'll look at what the family has going on, what my work schedule is. Everything else is a priority. Racing, driving a race car, while I love it, is way down on the list. It is. There's so many other things now in my life that insist on being prioritized above that and must be. So we take racing and try to fit it into the puzzle that's built. If I'm prioritizing driving, I'm going to prioritize driving my late model over driving that Xfinity car, for me. That's a selfish thing, whatever, but I want to drive that thing more. If giving up an Xfinity race gets me another late model race, I'm going to do that, if I can. But if somebody walked in here tomorrow, the phone rang and somebody said, hey, we want Dale to drive an Xfinity race and we'll sponsor one of the other 4 cars for a package deal, 5 or 10 races, we're doing that. We're doing that. That's going to check the box and I'm back at the racetrack in the Xfinity car. But until that happens, I'm going to mess with this late model stock car. Unfortunately, this is big for Earnhardt Jr. and NASCAR in general, since he brings a new level of popularity to the circuit when he drives. After racing at circuits such as Bristol and Homestead in recent seasons, the NASCAR Hall of Fame inductee may be eager to try something new next time around. I might go to Kansas. That looks pretty fun, running the fence, Earnhardt Jr. added, regarding whether he'd race at Bristol again or not. I love running the wall, and that's why I went to Homestead a couple of times in the past couple years. So Kansas, you definitely run the fence. That was a fun one, back in the day for me. I remember the last several times we've raced there. I mean, I don't know, we're just talking. When Dale Earnhardt Jr. does return to the NASCAR Xfinity Series, it will always be a must-see event. Hopefully, it happens sooner rather than later, and some last-minute arrangements are done for 2025. And who knows, it might be another spectacle like last weekend. As during Friday's Xfinity Series race in Bristol, Dale Earnhardt Jr. threw Riley Herbst the bird. Herbst won the struggle for position over Earnhardt, who rode on top. Going into one corner, Herbst chose to run the middle, which is no man's land in Bristol. That allowed Earnhardt to take the lead and overtake Herbst. Earnhardt turned off Herbst, and the NASCAR Hall of Famer was upset that Herbst did not let him go sooner as the leads drew away from them. Me and Riley raced around each other quite a bit, and there were a couple times where he got the better of me, either by lane choice or on the restart, Earnhardt said. And I had just maybe passed him, or I knew that I could get by him, and as we would start running after a restart, he was pretty quick for a couple laps, and then I would get quicker, and I'm working underneath him, trying to pass him. We get down in the corner and get kind of up to his door. He pulled kind of straight over and over into corner. That is totally fine. I am not annoyed by that. I'd love to pass him, but I am not annoyed by anything he's doing. And then something happened where we come off the corner, I'm underneath him, he clears me, we ran a couple corners, and then he went into the turn and didn't go to the top like he'd been doing. He just goes into the middle. And so I'm like, alright, I'll just jump to the top. And I go right around and I'm like, I think he let me go there. I'm not sure, but why did he do it that way? And that was what frustrated me. Like, we just ran 20 effing laps here. You're just being stubborn as hell. I was so mad. And then a couple corners later, I was like, it's fine. It's not a big deal. Like I said, Dale Jr. always bring the show. So, what do you think? Will he get into Cup Series charter management as well? And will we see him run some races in 2025? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.